Welcome to the Voice of Grace Lightlooper and Cycle Witch podcast. I am Grace Lightlooper, a multidimensional vocal channel, singer, and soul activation coach. Through my work, I guide souls to unlock the power of their voice, connect with their soul's frequency, and reactivate their ancient magic. I run transformational online and in-person containers and online voice activation courses. All my offerings can be found on my website. Now, this magical episode, as ever, is co-hosted with my soul sister Beth. She is an artist, a mystic, and a healer, and she goes by the name of Cycle Witch. This week, we dive into the concept and the question of who am I and why am I here?
Boop, boop, boop. Action!
Whoa.
It's almost like we're really well attuned to each other.
I was going to say, we finished each other. No, that's not what you're going to say.
Sandwiches. Little Elsa reference for you.
Yes, I know. I got it.
Yeah, they might not though.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, episode 6.
Episode 6.
I do believe.
I think we need a cake for episode 10.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for episode 6, and I was going to say, well, I did not bring a cake, so maybe we need to sort that out. Didn't get the memo about the cake.
No.
Although, it is your birthday tomorrow.
It is my birthday tomorrow.
And you're going to be we can't see it. The big 3-7.
3-7.
Oh, sorry, I'm knocking all your birthday cards down.
That's all right. Here we are in my lovely abode. This
Yes.
is my bedroom, my living room, my working space.
Your home.
My home in the magical place.
Yes, the ever-present home.
I'd really love to say thank you to everybody who gave us some really beautiful feedback on what home means to them and how they access that information. I had some really interesting things said to me. One of them was actually to do with the experience of eating food from the country that their parents are from.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
how that gives a real sense of home. And it was quite interesting because this person had changed their diet for quite a long time. They'd gone vegan, and they said like they didn't realise how much they'd missed that identification with home until they ate the meaty dish from their country again, and they were like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, because I guess there's so many different senses, isn't there? That sort of fire up when we think of home and we connect with those different things. Oh.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for your beautiful feedback. We really appreciate any kind of communication. It feeds our souls.
It does. Even if I haven't replied to you personally, I do apologise. As I mentioned in past episodes, I've just moved house. There is a backlog of messages, and it's just been a bit overwhelming to just do anything other than unpack boxes. So I apologise for not responding, but I have absolutely soaked up your thanks and your gratitude and your messages of support for our cute little humble podcast. Which feels more like more than a podcast when we're recording the videos. I feel like, I don't know, having it recorded on video and on YouTube as well, just I'm excited by that. And I'm noticing each episode we turn more towards the camera. So we become more confident with presenting the visual as opposed to just the audio.
And it's a really good job that we're both very comfortable in that position.
So to speak. Yes.
Both done a lot of social media.
We have actually, haven't we? Yeah. Although this few weeks that I have been moving, I have been the least active on social media I've ever been. And it's actually it's quite uncomfortable for me, the thought of it, because I've been thinking of posting and then I've been holding back, and it's a really weird, unusual place I'm in at the moment I'm so used to shouting everything and showing and expressing everything, and I've just really gone within. Obviously I've got a lot on, but I'm noticing this, it's almost like this rebirth that's happening of I don't know, you know how I said to you the other day, the dust has just flown everywhere, and it's all settling, but in a completely new place, not just physically but energetically. I'm becoming a new person, and it's the things that I've gone to do that I've previously done, I'm like, no, we don't do it like that anymore. So I'm finding these like new ways, and it's a very strange process, and does feel like a rebirth, like a real huge rebirth of myself and who I think I am. And then, yeah.
Well, that very neatly segues us onto...
Here we go.
Grace, what was the question I meant to ask you?
Segues us into forgetting why the fuck we're here.
Well, I mean, that's part of it.
Which then begs the question, who am I and why am I here?
Exactly.
I think that's
where I was going
that's
for.
It.
That's where I was going for. In this process of realising that you are changing and your life is changing and resettling in a new order, where are you at? How have you been feeling in that? And what are you gaining knowledge around for yourself, your person, your soul, your purpose?
Oh, you're so good at asking questions.
Really not. I just forgot.
No, you are because like I always notice this in you. You are good at asking questions. Yes, I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Okay.
You are good at asking questions, and that's that. So thank you. Because it's just made me realise actually how unsettling it's been, and how actually these last few weeks I have had such a huge sense of like, holy shit, who am I and why am I here, in such in a deep, scary, terrifying way, of like all these egoic constructs that we make up of who we are and why we're here. They can only kind of take us to a certain point in our lives, and only really serve us up until a certain point, because of course none of that's real. Everything we think we are, we're not, because we're everything and nothing all at once. And any kind of, because it's a limitation, isn't it? Like, if I say I'm a vocal activation coach, I'm a singer, I'm a mother, like, yes, to some degree, but they're all limited. Like, all of those labels that I've just put on myself are limits to some degree. And I've really kind of noticed that. Not that I have the answers of like who I am now. Will I ever know? Will we ever know who we are and why we're here? But it's really, I guess lately, the last few days, I'm really being invited to dive deeper into the discomfort, like the real deep anxiety and depression and despair and the terror that has been moving through my body. Of, I've let go of a massive part of my identity recently of lack, of struggle. I've let go of that with regards to being a single mum who can't cope. So much of that has fallen away. I let go of the limiting beliefs, and now that's manifested into my reality. I'm living a much more abundant life. So now I've been really forced to I have to let that go. That's not there anymore. So then it's kind of left me with this, almost like this empty space of fear, because I'm like, well, who am I then? And maybe it could sound like, well, that's easy. You fill it with abundance, fill it with love, and but when you're in the crux of that, essentially ego death, when something that all you've ever known for, in my case, 40 years of this existence, and beyond that, in past lives and ancestrally, all I have ever known is this one thing, and then that is healed, reloved, and therefore dissolves and isn't true for me anymore. Then so many more questions are presented of what if I, for example, if I don't have to work my arse off every day in a job that I don't enjoy just to make ends meet, holy shit, now what do I do with my time? Because now the world is my oyster, and now the only option is to follow my soul's calling, which is what I've always wanted, which is obviously why I'm doing this work. But when you're really met with that, it's so daunting, and it's like, whoa, okay, I really need to nail this. I really need to hone this and acknowledge and like utilize this opportunity.
Do you feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to be like, now's the time, I have to get it right, like this is the thing, I have to figure this out, like because it's like earlier when you messaged me and you were like, I've got a whole day, I've got nothing planned, what do? I need to think of something to do. And I was like, revel in it. I think sometimes we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be like, oh, this space has opened up in my life or within me, and I need to figure it out, and I need to get it right, because if I get it wrong, like I'm going to be the wrong person, or experiencing the wrong things, or interacting with the wrong people.
I've wasted my time.
But that it all comes back to that it's the journey. It's not like about kind of discovering exactly, because it should be transient. We should always be changing and evolving and finding new parts of ourselves and releasing old parts of ourselves. And it is really hard when we're met with that sudden real, like, there is an empty space. What do I do? But yeah, I know I've been caught in that before, where it's been like, well, I need to decide who I am and I need to live up to that. And when that falls away, you're like, what do I do now? Who am I without these things? But the whole point is, like, the only thing you should know is that you know nothing, and that you will experience exactly what you are supposed to be experiencing, and you will become and find your identity and your purpose in that being in it. As opposed to like, right, I need to make decisions now.
Forcing it. Yeah.
Not that I'm saying you are. I'm just saying that is something I've experienced, and I know that moment of like, I don't know who I am. I need to make a decision about who I want to be now. It can be a delicious, winding path to take.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. And it's because obviously I messaged you last night with that feeling of like, I guess it's like massive expansion and not knowing what to do with it. And that's always been my thing. I've been such an active person, like I, you know, on some levels, like a coping mechanism, always be busy, always be creative, always channel that energy through. And to have so much expansion and so much space was bringing up a lot of anxiety in me. And what was interesting last night is that I managed to journal a bit through it, and all that I was writing down was just this. There was this kind of like frustration in me of like, I know there's something that I'm craving, but I can't quite like pinpoint it. And it was just like, you need to be singing. You need to be singing with women, with the feminine energy, with groups of people, and leading that energy. And this is what you want to be stepping into now. And I journaled it, and lo and behold, today literally received the invitation to facilitate that alongside a beautiful soul that I'm connected with on a regular basis. And it's like everything that I had journaled last night, from going into that pain and that fear of the expansion, as you said, kind of paraphrasing what you said, but like surrendering in that pain and not trying to force it, which is something that I have to really fucking practice. Not forcing stuff, because I could have sat there last night and tried to plan all of these voice workshops and tried to gather the people and the venue and all of that stuff that actually has already been sorted out in the future. It's already, but as you would say, it's already been done, it's already there, it's waiting. It's just, I just need to surrender and just chill for a bit and just wait to catch up with that. But sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
It is. And it's such a pleasure to see you work your way through that. I wouldn't wish that discomfort on you, but it's glorious to behold you moving through that in such a incredibly positive way.
Thank you for holding me through that and many other times, and many times to come, I'm sure.
And same.
They always just like gripping onto each other like, oh God, help! Eye of the storm vibes. I always feel like we're in the eye of the storm, and we're just like, just hold on, it's gonna pass soon.
Definitely. Oh dear. I really related to what you said about okay, so this is quite far back in the conversation now in some ways, but my relation to what you're experiencing with these massive shifts is I'm currently going through a slightly extended, so like not massive amount of time, but time away from somebody who is so incredibly dear to me, who I live alongside. And I was really struggling before they went away to know what I was going to be like with them not here. And part of me was like, oh, I don't want to over distract so that I'm just keeping busy and not actually feeling my stuff while they're away. I also don't want to end up in a bit of a pit and be like, well, if they're not here, there's no point, which I knew I probably wouldn't do, but I can have a tendency to kind of get a bit festery sometimes. And I was so worried about that. And I, like, retrospectively, I can really look back and think, wow, I was definitely fighting on an unconscious level to figure out how I was going to cope without them by my side. Because if they're not by my side, then who am I? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I've got to say I'm really bloody impressed with myself because life has gone on as normal. I feel relaxed. I feel happy. I'm being sociable. I'm making time to be with myself. And yeah, I'm really chuffed, actually. It's given me a really nice, like, yes, Beth, you are a whole human being and you are capable of enjoying your life, not for anybody else. And I'm like, oh, that's a relief.
Oh, well done. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's so true what you said. Like, I feel that a lot come up for me a lot, actually. It's like, who am I without my partner? Who am I? And I think I've got it. I think I've nailed it. And then he'll go away again. And then it'll come up again of like, oh God, I feel like I'm lost again. Like, who am I? What do I do when he's not around? What do I do in this situation when he's not here? How do I handle this when he's not here? And yeah, it's a reoccurring one for me, and it always just comes up to like, it always surprises me when it comes back around again. I'm just like, oh right, we're there again, are we? Okay. But yeah, I'm celebrating you massively, because
thank you.
Yeah, that's huge. Well done.
Aww.
Well done. Well done for feeling whole. It's not easy.
Do you know what though? I'm really impressed with you as well though.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I don't think you've really missed much of a beat. You've had things come up, but because you've been on your own and things, but not. You've really kind of ploughed into it. You haven't actually kind of fallen apart, or you've taken it all head on. And I feel like from the person who I knew when I first met you to how you are now, that person really would have.
I'm like, she's dead.
She's dead to me.
She's dead to me.
That person would have really fallen apart and needed a lot of support. But you've grown so much since then.
Yeah. I mean, a joke and I say she's dead to me, but genuinely, she's completely unrecognizable, and I know she is to you too. And as that version of you is like unrecognizable to me now. It's like they're kind of honoring them and respecting them, but my God, it's like two completely different.
We did the best
energies
we could with what we had at that time.
Absolutely.
But also, you know, we're doing the thing that I just said about how we should always be open to progress and growth and transience and non-limited beliefs about ourselves. Because I bet if we'd have had a conversation with us when we first met, like if all four of us sat down for a coffee.
Oh my God, what a radical thought.
Could you imagine us back then meeting us now and being like, no, that I can't be that person.
Whoa. Do you know what? That makes me think, that's so funny you said that, because I just started following this guy on Instagram. Forgive me, I do not remember his name on there. But he's all about, talks about quantum shifting, and his main thing is connecting with your higher self or connecting with your future self. And this is a practice I did last night after I spoke to you on the phone. I recorded that meditation. So he basically explains it like, just, I'm massively paraphrasing this, like, imagine yourself as you want to be in the future, like as you already are in the future, because you are already that. Like, imagine that you're already there now, and what advice would you be giving yourself? But he's like, the way he explains it is like you're actually fully like connecting with that future version of yourself, like that higher version of yourself, and you're able to like do it through the quantum. So when I was feeling those really dense energies last night, I thought about his posts, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to give this a go. And I had my voice note, my voice memo on my phone, and I was like, I can channel, you know, like I can channel till the cows come home. I can do this. I got this. So I just was like, right, Grace, I'm going to connect to my higher self. So I just closed my eyes, breathed into it, and I just spoke the wisdom from my higher self. Like, Grace, this is your higher self. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment. And just 5 minutes of wisdom I recorded on my phone, and it just, the act of speaking it, of channeling it, just completely settled my nervous system, completely obliterated any fear. It was actually really profound, that exercise, and I'm really grateful for his post because it sparked that in me, and that remembering that we have these tools. Like, I can do this anytime, anywhere. And it's about constantly remembering, isn't it? And we were joking earlier about how we do it in so many different ways. Sometimes I'm crying to you and you remind me of who I am. And sometimes we're roaring with laughter and you're reminding me of who I am. And it's just that sometimes we forget. I think that's when the emotions can become difficult and dense, is when we forget, that we let them get bigger than who we know we are to be. When we know we have this connection, we know we have these skills, these tools, this magic within us.
So much magic. How are we doing for time?
Well, we're 22 minutes in, and this has been a really interesting one, because I feel like we haven't really spoken about the thing we said we were going to speak about as much. But it's been, it's been way more profound actually than what I thought.
Yeah. I'm highly distracted by the fact that somebody is knocking at my front door.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
All right, should we end the podcast there then?
Yeah,
and then we can be like,
so.
To be continued. We'll let you know who it is in the next podcast.
I don't think it's for me.
Okay.
But I'm just highly distracted by it.
Okay.
Yay, my brain does the thing where it's like...
I think anyone would do that though. If there was someone knocking at my door and we were recording this, there was no way I'd be focused on what we were talking about. So, all right, well, let's end that for today. That was like 22 minutes of absolute power wisdom.
Absolutely. Of course it is. It's us.
Yes. I feel like it's like condensed power.
Yeah, we didn't actually speak about what we were going to speak about, but that means we've got 2 extra episodes.
Yeah, I think let's record another one of that, because I'd like to go into that and ask you some questions as well. Practice my question answer. No, I'm good at that bit. Question asking. Freudian slip there.
It's just like the time when you said to me, I think it was over gin or something, what's yours is mine.
I was like, please don't bring that up.
Oh, darling.
I'm just gonna give people a bit of context. Right, back when we first met, and I'm gonna say a little bit more self-centered than I might be now. I fucking hope that I'm less self-centered now. And it was just a Freudian slip where I was meant to say like, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. I just wanted to make a nice sentiment, but for some reason I just went, what's yours is mine, and just ended it there, and it just summed me up like as a selfish person at that moment.
Which is weird because I didn't view you as a selfish person at that point at all, and I just thought it was hilarious. So
okay. Well, we'll leave that there. Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you so much.
Please leave your comments everywhere and share us everywhere.
Please, that would be